becoming a head coach.
Exactly. You just love that, and Desmond has done that.
All right, ready for the opening tip. Again, a key SoCon matchup here tonight. Seedings on the line here as March Madness just around the corner. And the Buccaneers will try to draw first blood in tonight's game.
Well, let's see what Justin Gray does. Without Claude in the lineup, how are they going to handle Haynes, whether they're going to isolate, go one-on-one with him, or whether they're going to double the post?
Already a good offensive rebound after the miss by King. Buccaneers opening up very patient here in their half-court offense. Western Carolina's been a good home team this season. Nice cut through the lane, and the basket in by Seymour. So this young freshman front court already making an impact here for Western Carolina. For East Tennessee State.
When you're on the road, your guards have to play well. When they're young, that's always a question mark.
Woolbright now will try to answer here for Western Carolina. Gets tied up inside the lane. You see Granger, who's getting the start with Claude on the bench with a nice rebound. And now Russell Jones, another effective three-point shooter for the Catamounts, a little short on that attempt. And the Buccaneers will have a chance to build on this early lead. Western Carolina again won the first meeting between these two teams by 11. And that was a touchdown pass over to the sidelines into the stands. So the ball will come back to the Catamounts. First turnover here for the Buccaneers.
And we see East Tennessee starting to extend their defense a little bit. Earlier in the year, Jeff, when they had Josh Taylor in the lineup, they really pressed more and ran a little bit more. But without him in there, they're mostly man-to-man now, little 2-3 zone. But they were much more extending their defense earlier in the year when they had Taylor in the lineup.
Well, an interesting note about East Tennessee State on the road, they won their first 4 away from Johnson City, but have lost their last 3, and that could be because of that injury, certainly making an impact. Another good offensive rebound here by Woolbright, and he's going to be clipped on the arm as he went back for the stick back, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Vontarius is number 1. That was an offensive rebound, of course, in the league in defensive rebounding. And that's a question mark for this Catamount team without the big fella in the lineup tonight.
So Woolbright will head to the free throw line on the season. A good free throw shooter, 63% as he cans the first attempt. And Western Carolina with their first point of the game.
And let's see if Western extends their defense a little bit to put a little bit of pressure with Jones on those young East Tennessee State guards.
Again, this is a series that East Tennessee State has dominated. They left the SoCon, came back, but Western Carolina with a chance to win their 3 in a row for the first time since the late 90s in this series. Now the baseline jumper off the mark, and the Catamounts with a defensive rebound. And a chance for the Catamounts now to take the lead for the first time. Trey Jackson, we've talked about the scoring machine lately for Western Carolina. A little too strong on that floater in the lane. And the Buccaneers will reset their half-court offense.
Really sagging off of number 5, Alan Struthers, and number 22, Jaden Seymour. There's the double team, Jeff.
Now the long-range jumper. East Tennessee State not a true three-point shooting team, and that went off the mark. Maybe a little too long on that attempt as Campbell will bring the Catamounts back down the floor. Trey Jackson's been getting his points, but Woolbright also had an effective game in that win over Wofford. He had 30 points, as you see the baseline little floater there by Campbell, and the Catamounts go on top. But, Coach, when you have a player who puts up 47 and then a complimentary player put up 30, that's the only time in D1 basketball that's happened this season where 2 teammates scored over 40 and 30 or more in the same game.
Well, you know what, Jeff, when they look and see the big guys in there, it hurts them collectively. But those other guys' eyes opened up a little bit because they go, hey, that's more shots for me.
More opportunities, and when you love, if you're a scorer, a shooter, that's the name of the game. Is the Catamounts with a 4-2 lead, and now Jones again a little strong on the three-point attempt, and the Buccaneers back down the floor.
Yeah, very unselfish for Ontarius Woolbright with the pass, but he got that deep. He should have taken that shot right there.
East Tennessee State, are you a little surprised at the pace that they're playing here, or do you think they're just more established as a half-court squad?
Well, like I said, I think earlier in the year when they were more healthy, they were up-tempo, shooting the ball a little bit quicker. To give Coach Oliver a lot of credit, he's adjusting to what they need.
And Jones in the paint about 3 feet away. And the Catamounts with their biggest lead in the first half of tonight's game.
Nothing hurts your defense more than dribble penetration, getting the ball in the paint. East Tennessee State, a very good defensive team, but a couple times now early in this game, they've allowed the ball to get deep into the lane.
Well, this slower pace allowing Western Carolina also to be more effective with their defense, it appears here. And now the Buccaneers with their second turnover. A lot of standing around, Coach, here early on by East Tennessee State. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor as Western Carolina fell behind by 2. And now the Catamounts on a 6-0 run as they grab the lead here early.
Try to establish him on perhaps the next offensive possession, unless it's a transition, a fast-breaking possession.
Right now the Buccaneers 1 of 6 from the floor to open, 0 of 3 from behind the line. So as Coach was explaining, maybe it's time to look down to the post more here for the Buccaneers, as the Catamounts will have possession after that turnover, the second of the game for East Tennessee State. Jeff Bryson and Dino Gaudio along with you. Glad to have you in tonight for ESPN Plus coverage of Southern Conference men's basketball here from the Ramsey Center in Cullowhee, North Carolina. Here's a lob down low, and Gilmore not able to pull in that pass. So quickly down the floor come the Buccaneers. Again, now another three-point attempt. This one also too strong off the attempt by Hairston. But what a follow here, and talk about an effective shot inside the paint by Seymour on that stick back.
Well, the second shot is the highest percentage shot in the game, and that one right there, Jeff, that was pretty high percentage.
That was a very high percentage, and that made a little noise, and an important basket here. It ended that drought by the Buccaneers that went almost 4 minutes, as the Catamounts now, again, Jones from the baseline off the mark, and the Buccaneers now showing a little more life after that timeout. Back down the floor, working the basketball is Tipler. He checked in during the dead ball for East Tennessee State. Now inside the paint. Shot is up, and we're going to have contact after the miss here by Jordan King. And that will send East Tennessee State to the free throw line.
Yeah, Coach Gray can't be happy with that. Like always be the second guy off the floor when you're contesting the shot. Stay down. They got the guy to lift a little bit. I think it was Gilmore, and then he stepped through for the shot, and King was fouled.
Jordan King at the line, and free throw is good, 81%.
Jordan King, really an explosive scorer. Excellent in the open court. In deep range, you got to guard him for the three-point line, NBA three-point line, and in last year, third-team SoCon. Second right now in 3 percentage at 43% in the league.
ETSU now has tied the game, a 4-0 run, and we mentioned showing a little more spirit after that timeout, as King, the junior from Albany, New York, good on both free throw attempts. Western Carolina now has hit a drought, as Trey Jackson has yet to score in the game, coming off 2 outstanding offensive outputs. Tyler Harris, senior for the Catamounts, who just subbed in. Here's Jackson from long range, and it's good. Coach, you can see the knack he has for that three-point shot you mentioned. He leads the SoCon in made three-pointers.
Yeah, and the first time he touched the ball, give him credit. They brought a second defender toward him. He gave it up. He was patient enough and waited to get it back a second time.
Now down low, what a find on the slam is Jalen Haynes, and we've been waiting for him to wake up in this game, and a good find and a good finish for the Buccaneers.
A really good set by Desmond Oliver. A little low away, guard set the screen for the big guy, and he just posted really deep into the lane.
Now Jackson trying to weave through traffic, and the quick hands here by DeAnthony Tipler all the way down for the finish. And now East Tennessee State, who was sputtering offensively, looking really good on their last several offensive possessions, and first transition basket of the game for the Buccaneers.
Well, in the first outing, Jeff, East Tennessee ETSU had 14 turnovers for 22 points in the second half alone. Western right now turning the ball over a little too much.
Catamounts have led by as many as 4 in the game. Now Western Carolina down by 1. I'm going to say the ball was deflected, touched last. We're going to have a foul here. It looks like we're going to have a push.
Yeah, I think
on the Buccaneers.
I think Chuck Jones has a block on the pass by the defender.
See the replay here is Harris trying to make the pass, and you see the contact inside the lane. And subbing in will be Justice Smith for the Buccaneers. Catamounts go back to work offensively. Early on, Western Carolina shooting 33%, and that will improve that percentage as Granger with a big basket. Coach, he transferred into Western Carolina. He's been an impactful player, first off the bench and now filling in for Tyjon Claude.
Yeah, the Ohio U transfer. Again, Justin Gray, really good job of setting that low away diagonal screen to bring Granger to the post.
Nice move inside the paint here on the bucket by Brock Jancic.
Jancic didn't play the first time these two teams met, so he's another positive addition for ETSU.
Only averages 4 points per game, but a really nice move to give the Buccaneers back the lead. That's the fourth lead change we've had here in the first half, as Woolbright now was screened on his drive to the basket, and the Buccaneers down with a rebound. ETSU trying to establish a two-game winning streak after knocking off VMI at home on Saturday. The miss down low. Both of these teams have a tough schedule to close out before tournament time. So this game makes tonight's game even more important for both squads. And now a three-pointer out of the corner by Tyler Harris.
That's a plus for Western, with Tyler shooting 28% from behind the three-point line. But that's his reputation. He's a three-point shooter, but the stats just don't reflect it right now.
And he's also a rarity anymore in college basketball. All 4 seasons for the same team. He's been in Cullowhee since his freshman season.
Rare indeed.
Now Harris again out of the corner, and he's heating up.
That's 118 of his 153 shots coming in, Jeff, with 77% of his field goal attempts. That bodes well for Western in this game thus far. He hits those too.
And Harris now the leading scorer out on the floor for either team. He's got 6 points here. And Western Carolina with their biggest lead at 5 as the Buccaneers now go back down low, and a nice find and a finish here by Jordan King. And again, a nice pass by Brock Jancic to find King. That little dipsy-do off the glass.
Yeah, Russell Jones, like on defense, see the ball and your man both. He lost vision of Jordan King.
Catamounts lead at 3 as Woolbright will find Harris again. Let's see if he still fills the mojo to the basket. He's going to be fouled as he tries to cut down the lane. And Western Carolina with a 3-point lead will have a chance to build on that after this timeout, as Tyler Harris, who scored the last 6 points for the Catamounts, will be at the free throw line. We'll be back to Cullowhee right after this. We mentioned a 4-year performer here for the Catamounts, as the first free throw is up and good. And Tyler Harris, North Carolina native out of Charlotte, playing at Independence High School and arriving in Cullowhee under the previous regime under Coach Mark Prosser. And the second free throw also good, and the Catamounts have matched their biggest lead here at 5. East Tennessee State has answered each time the Catamounts have pulled ahead in the game tonight, and now we're going to have a reach-in foul. This will go against Russell Jones Jr. Check that on Tyler Harris. They're going to give that his first personal. Buccaneers will have a inbounds play from the baseline. Anthony Tippler, who's missed the last couple of games, back on the floor tonight and getting some minutes here in the first half for the Buccaneers. Mid-range jumper off the mark, and a tangle for the rebound. Buccaneers quick to the midcourt line to retrieve the ball, and now King through traffic off the glass, no good. But again, too much contact here, and King will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, a lot of long shots equal long rebounds. So those guards defensively got to rat out those long rebound opportunities for Western.
Bernard Palote with the personal foul. King, again, a very good free throw shooter, 81% at the free throw line.
And last year, Jeff, King was like sort of the third option with Brewer and Sloan. Now, the Brewer kid is at UAB right now, and all of a sudden King is drawing, the best defender on the other team, and he's responded. He's 14.3 points a game, shooting 39 from the field, and like you mentioned, 82 from the free throw line.
Now we'll have a redshirt freshman, Alan Struthers, out of Newport News, Virginia, checking in for the Buccaneers, who slowly have climbed back within 3 here after converting both free throws. And as Coach Gaudio requested early on in the game, the Buccaneers all of a sudden have been attacking the basket more here over the last several minutes. And that has certainly aided their offensive output. Early on, it was 3-point shots or bust for East Tennessee State. And now they've been able to get some points at the line and also by driving in. And here's another errant pass. And the turnover is starting to mount here for Western Carolina. Only the third, but a lot of those coming over the last 5 minutes of the game.
And this is a team that really doesn't turn the ball over that much. And I think Jackson's got to understand now the kind of attention that he's going to draw. It's always going to be a second defender coming towards him on the ball screen right there. Haynes did a really good job of corralling him. So you got to play under control. When you get to the lane, land and play off 2 feet so you're on balance. If the pass is there, make it. If not, at least you're not going to walk because you're playing off 2 feet.
Buccaneers back with the ball. They'll have a chance to tie here if they can drain a 3. And now the ball will roll out of bounds on the sideline. They're going to say it was deflected by a Catamount. And the possession will stay with the Buccaneers.
Well, one of the best post defenders you can have, Jeff, is the guy guarding the passer. Can't let that guy window shop. A lot of pressure on the ball, active hands, so that pass becomes a more difficult one.
Having some trouble getting the ball in. The Buccaneers finally find Tipler, and he will drive back near midcourt to reset the offense. Here's another 3-point shot on the way. And the Buccaneers right now having a tough time from beyond the 3. They are 0 of 5 in the first half. And also to add insult to injury, a foul here on Haynes. And possession will come back to Western Carolina with a chance to build on a 3-point lead.
Yeah, and it's going to cost him. He's going to have to come off the floor right now.
Yeah, that's his second personal. With still over 8 minutes to go before halftime. Woolbright will bring the offensive ball down to the end of the floor for the Catamounts. Trying to cut through traffic, and we're going to have a takeaway here. Good quick hands by Seymour. And now the finish by Smith. And we've got a 1-point game again here in Cullowhee.
And what a terrific pass from Struthers. Just a terrific look, terrific find, and on time, on target with that pass.
Coach, is there anything better when you're a head coach than points off turnovers?
if you're on the defensive end and get that turnover, like what was the foul right there? Was that on Jones or?
Still waiting for they're having a conversation
Struthers
on the side, and now
I'm sorry,
Struthers here.
But yeah, when your defense, Jeff, creates your offense for you, that's just huge. That's just huge.
Jones set to make the inbounds play for Western Carolina. As neither team able to provide any separation here. 5 points has been the biggest lead. That's on 2 occasions by Western Carolina.
Really good ball screen defense by ETSU right there.
There's Woolbright. Had his foot across the 3-point line, no good. And Palute able to chase down the rebound. Back to Woolbright, cutting down the lane, and the layup is good.
And the left-hander very comfortable finishing with his right hand at the rim.
So off the window, the Catamounts get the points, and now a 3-point Western Carolina lead.
Boy, really giving Seymour a lot of room on the perimeter.
He can't convert off the glass, and Woolbright down with a rebound. You talked about what a good rebounder he is. Here's Jones now. That floater is good.
And we talked about trying to get separation, Jeff, and that's where it starts. It starts with getting stops on the defensive end of the floor.
So Western Carolina right now at that 5-point lead again. It's the 3rd time they've led by that margin. ETSU's only lead in the game Cavs on 2 occasions. They led 2-0, and then they led 10-9. But other than that, Western Carolina has controlled the lead most of the first half. Here's a 3-point shot on the way. This one off the mark, too strong. And a good rebound here by the Catamounts coming down. DJ Campbell trying to find Granger, but this one's going to bounce out of bounds off his fingertips. So Western Carolina again up by 5. Neither team shooting well, but
9 or more threes, and then that plays off of assists as well. And they share the ball when they're winning basketball games.
Yeah, one strange note on that comparison was they have more turnovers and they win, but that was the only note on that comparison that really stood out. So here's Jones now down the lane. Good defense here by the Buccaneers, but Granger able to clean it up and build this Catamount lead now to the largest of the first half, a 7-point Western Carolina advantage.
Well, when Brock Jancic came over to help on the drive on Jones, Colin Granger had a clear avenue to the offensive rebound and the putback. Again, the more you're in that lane, the higher percentage shots you're going to get. That one happened to be second shot opportunity.
Western Carolina now trying to build off this offensive output with a little intensity here on defense. Buccaneers slowed down on this half-court step, and a nice jumper. What a mid-range connection by Jordan King.
And I'll tell you what, Pelote, really good defense on that play, better offense, because he had a high hand, really contested it. Justin Gray can't be upset with that shot.
Yeah, just a perfect arch. And it keeps the Buccaneers again within arm's reach, only down by 5. And now Campbell will have the ball deflected out of bounds as he comes down the lane. We'll have a couple of subs checking in for each squad.
In Western, really, I talked to Coach Gray before the season. He says, hey, a big thing for us is eliminate catch and shoot threes as we see the deflection out of bounds. And right now, sitting at 0 for 7 from behind the three-point line is ETSU.
Granger again over to Harris. Both teams have been very active, both coaches using their bench here in the first half.
And I like what Coach Oliver did, put Haynes back in. I was a guy, rolled the dice a little bit on playing guys with 2 fouls.
How about this defensive set here by the Buccaneers, forcing the shot clock violation?
Well, part of that is an awareness of where you are, and then you got to make sure that guys with the short clock that have the ball in their hands are guys that can make plays one-on-one.
And you're not getting a lot of help when you're on the opposing end of the floor with the opposing team. You're not going to get the call of shot clock winding down. And the fans here at the Ramsey Center trying to help the Catamounts. Here's a shot on the way. This one no good, and the rebound down by Jackson. Let's see. The call here should be a foul, and looks like it will go against the Catamounts.
I think it was Granger on the box out with Haynes.
It'll be an inbounds play now for ETSU.
Now ETSU on their last baseline out of bounds ran a little flex cut, got the ball right into the lane. Little pin down right there.
Here's another high archer. This one too strong by King, and Woolbright, he's been on the boards all night with a rebound. Over to Jackson. Fake the 3, and now cutting down the lane. Flanks off the back of the iron, no good, and a good defensive board by Smith for the Buccaneers.
And a really good shot for Western.
A good look at the basket, just would not drop. Trey Jackson's been contained here by ETSU's defense. Now Western Carolina is starting to pile up the fouls here. That will be the 16th foul. Another foul on Granger.
Well, we're seeing what this big fella does well. He really, the scouting report on him is powerful big guy, physical lefty, likes to spin at the end of that move like he did right there to create a little bit of space, and Granger with the foul because he couldn't stay in front of him.
Haynes, a very good free throw shooter for a post player, 87%. And at the stripe, and the free throw is no good in the old announcer's jinx. As Haynes will have a second shot attempt coming.
He's talking a little bit while he's shooting too.
Seeing a little chit-chat going on.
What makes him good, he's an emotional player, but he can't be over emotional. Like, you can't be emotionally Coach Chaney used to say, can't be emotionally intoxicated. So Coach is going to take him out on the defensive side of the floor right now with 2 fouls.
Yeah, not wanting to get that third foul, especially on a trash situation, as Woolbright set to make the inbounds play. Having the problems, now we'll find Jackson, and here come the Catamounts. Over to Harris. He's hit a couple of threes tonight, making 3 treys. And Western Carolina has matched their biggest lead again at 7, 28-21.
Well, that's what they do. When they make threes, they're difficult to beat.
Western Carolina, again, trying to be very active here defensively. Inside the paint, and again, ETSU able to answer as Tipler with a nice shot about 5 feet away in the paint.
If Harris is going to switch that ball screen, then you got to switch up. In other words, you can't play lateral sideline to sideline. Come up and meet him so you're in a position to contest shots. You can't drop on that ball screen switch.
Russell Jones Jr. will give way to Gilmore. Jones a 3-point threat, as is Woolbright. Woolbright thought he saw some daylight, but as he made his way to the bucket, we're going to have a pushing foul on the Buccaneers. And that will bring us to the under 4 timeout here at the Ramsey Center. And again, ETSU sees the Catamounts grab their third 7-point lead before they answer with a in the 4 ties, 3 lead changes throughout the first half. Neither team leading by more than 7. And Western Carolina now up by 5, but in possession, as you see Woolbright driving down the lane on the inbounds play. And the Catamounts go up again by 7, Coach.
Great call by Justin Gray. As you saw, they isolated him, catch at the elbow. They cleared out the other block, and Woolbright could go right down the lane.
Let's see once again if the Buccaneers can answer, as it will be King. He's had the shot here. He's had the hot hand for the Buccaneers, and again, a nice high-arching basket to pull the Buccaneers back within 5.
Well, he gets such leverage on his jump shot that how high he gets up eliminates the contest.
And he has that look right now.
Yeah.
He's the go-to guy right now for the Buccaneers as the lob comes down to Gilmore, and he's going to land out of bounds. So the pass, Gilmore flying down on the baseline, and the turnover will get possession back to the ETSU Buccaneers, and that's the 5th Catamount giveaway here in the opening half.
Well, without Haynes in there, you got to have Jordan King. You got to keep your eye on him. He's the guy for ETSU.
See the lob down inside the lane. Too crowded, so the Buccaneers will go back up to the top of the key, and now Tipler for 3, and it's in.
Their first. 1 for 9 now from behind the 3-point line for ETSU.
And a big one that pulls the Bucks back within 2.
In that first outing, Jeff, down there, Western made 13 threes and ETSU had 9. It was obviously big difference in the game, and that's one of the ways that Western got separation in that game and got the win.
And Coach, in that first game, Western Carolina had 4 players in double digits. Tonight, Harris with 11, but other than that, a very balanced scoring sheet for the Catamounts. And now the Buccaneers will have a chance to take the lead. They're going to go for it here on this 3-point shot, but it's off the mark, off the attempt on the baseline by Justice Smith. And now good defensive deflection here by ETSU. The ball will stay with the Catamounts.
He's been terrific. He was terrific last week, Trey Jackson, but I'll tell you, he's struggling right now.
Yeah, Marlo Gilmore out on the floor for the Catamounts, playing in his first SoCon action. He's been a spark plug player off the bench at times. He goes to the bench now for the Catamounts, but the type of bench player that Coach Justin Gray can utilize when the team needs a lift. And now down low, Woolbright off the glass.
Boy, he plays so big at 6'6". He has a physicality at the end of his drive that he could play through contact.
Catamounts stay at 50%, 11 of 22 from the floor. And despite trailing by only 4, ETSU is shooting 40% here. Inside the lane now. And a nice pivot move by Jancic. We talked about his limited minutes coming in, but Coach, if he keeps playing like that, he'll stay on the floor tonight for the Buccaneers. And now we have a timeout here by Coach Justin Gray.
Well, with Haynes with 2 fouls, Jancic's getting more minutes, and he's delivering right now. King gets to the midline, he gets to the middle of the lane, he'll elevate right over Russell.
You can see Woolbright here with a nice kiss off the glass, and then the answer on the offensive end of the floor for the Buccaneers as Jancic able to convert. And Coach Justin Gray wants to use it or lose it timeout here to set up the final play of the first half.
Well, you want to try to get a shot maybe with 5 on the clock, 6 on the game clock, so you have a chance at a second shot opportunity with an offensive rebound.
Woolbright now will hand away to Jones. And the Catamounts are going to milk the clock as the offense will spread out here. And now we'll see they go on the attack. Woolbright down the lane gets tied up. Back to Jones. You see 2 seconds remaining. Jones for the 3, and it's no good off the back of the iron. And as you might expect, we've got a 2-point second half. They're going to try to build on this 2-point lead. They led by 7 points on 3 occasions in that opening half. As Jones now will bring the ball up near the top of the key. And Western Carolina will open up. Try to provide a little separation here early in the second half. As Granger, who played some good minutes for Western Carolina in the absence of Tyjon Claude, as see the nice job here by Campbell, almost lost the dribble. Shot clock becoming a factor, down to 3, and Jones from the baseline, Campbell I should say from the baseline, off the mark, and the Buccaneers down with a rebound. Chance for ETSU to grab the lead here early in the second half. And we're going to have an offensive foul, Coach, over in that far corner, just in front of the Buccaneers bench. They're going to say it went out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he stepped out of bounds, Jeff, before he caught the basketball, or after he caught the basketball. And you've seen Justin Gray come out and try to do a dribble handoff for Jackson to see if he could get him started in the second half here. But really good defense by ETSU.
So the Catamounts back in possession as Woolbright finding Trey Jackson. And again, quick hands defensively here by the Buccaneers as Struthers able to get the ball back for ETSU.
It's almost like Trey Jackson made his mind up that he was going to pass the ball. Like, do what the game tells you to do, as we see King continue to have the hot hand. Like, don't make your mind up beforehand what you're going to do. Like, do what the game tells you. If it says shoot it, shoot the ball. If it says pass, pass the ball. But he's struggling right now.
King now with 12 points. And the Buccaneers tying the game at 32, the 5th tie. And the 3-point attempt on the way by Jones off the mark. And the Buccaneers able to come down with a rebound. So a good start on both ends of the floor here for ETSU. Just underway in the second half. And King now trying to work through traffic, and quick hands defensively here by Woolbright to come up with the ball. He'll give way to Jackson, and that pass not allowing Jackson to get set for the jumper.
Really good defense on the switch by Woolbright. Kept the ball in front of him. He got the steal.
And now they take away here defensively by the Buccaneers as King with a good defensive play. And ETSU, we mentioned, they've only led twice in the game. That was a 2-0 lead and a lead at 10-9. And now they have another opportunity here to grab the lead from the Catamounts.
Good.
Trey Jackson, we talked about his offensive struggles. He also has given the ball away 5 times tonight. A miss on that mid-range jumper, and now it looks like the Buccaneers are going to be tagged with a foul.
Yeah, I think Trey Jackson is at his best when he's aggressive, and he's just not playing aggressive this evening.
Coach Alan Struthers picked up that foul. Both teams were scrambling for the rebound. And the Catamounts back in possession. Now, Western Carolina has not scored out of the locker room. The Catamounts have been turnover happy here to start this second half. As Trey Jackson tries to evade traffic, and we're going to have a foul on the Buccaneers.
And I like what Jackson did right there. Like, they're really crowding him to take away his three-point shooting, which obviously they should do. So he puts the ball on the deck and gets to the free throw line.
Well, I guess when you're coming in with the kind of week he had, You're on the scouting report at the top. Here's the first free throw, and it's good. And that'll break the tie.
When you talk to the staff, you hear nothing but good things about Trey Jackson, like what a great kid he is, comes from a great background. His dad, Charles, team chaplain for the South Carolina football team, and just a terrific young man. Like I'm old now, right? I got grandkids. I tell people all the time, the most important thing we ever do in our lives is raise our kids.
Well, Trey Jackson obviously has made an impact here, not only with the coaching staff, but his teammates as well. You can see the chemistry that's developed after he transferred in, and now a three-pointer good by the Buccaneers.
Struthers with that one, and much needed for a guy that's shooting 19% from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, Buccaneers now 2 of 11 behind the three-point line, but that was a big one as ETSU bounces back on top. It's become a seesaw affair here in the early minutes of the second half as Jones Jr. comes down low to Granger, and the ball's going to be tipped out of bounds. It was touched last by one of the Buccaneers.
You know, Jones is so quick and so small. When Russell gets in the lane, again, he has good balance. He doesn't panic. Nice look to get the ball to Granger, but with such a crowd there, he couldn't get the ball up to the cup.
Got him out to the inbounds play, and another quick whistle here will stop play. Coach, for a moment, I thought that may have been Haynes, but it looks like they were going to get Seymour.
I think he was holding him on the curl as he was coming off the screen, like right there.
And again, out on the floor, Granger for the Catamounts with 2 personals. Struthers has 3 for the Buccaneers, and Haynes and also Seymour with 2 now for ETSU. The Catamounts find Granger down low, and what a finish on this flush by Colin Granger, and add the foul on Haynes. That will be his 3rd.
Boy, what a great pass. Head up, you can see the floor. Terrific find.
Now look at this pass from Woolbright down to Granger, and the frustration from Haynes. He did all he could to try to prevent that basket. Seeing that open look at the basket, but Granger was not going to be denied, and now he will head to the free throw line. Only a junior after he transferred in from Ohio University, the former Bobcat.
I don't know what they're looking at right here.
It's maybe an elbow on the contact of the face, but I don't see how you could possibly call that a flagrant. Let's see if we can get an explanation here.
You know what? If we could see the replay again, I think Granger was talking a little bit after the dunk. I'm not sure if that was it, but a little bit of trash talking after the play.
We'll try to get an explanation as we see the ball now coming down to the Catamount into the floor, as Granger will be shooting 2. Granger with a bonus free throw after the made basket. And we're getting the explanation now of why the Buccaneers were at the free throw line, and Coach Gaudio will pass that along to us. Coach, what was the explanation?
Yeah, like we thought, it was a little bit of trash talking at the end of the play. So shot the technicals and then resume where they were with the potential three-point play.
So after all that, ETSU leads by 1. And the Catamounts trying to stop the drive down the lane, and the ball's going to roll out of bounds. It was touched last by a Catamount. And it will be, each almost has the feel of a tournament game here, as close as it's been throughout.
It really does. These teams battling for that 4th spot, where Haynes, terrific play through contact right there.
And he's playing with 3 fouls.
Yeah,
as well.
where you get the bye with that 4th seed. You don't have to play that first night, which is huge.
Yeah, that is huge. I mean, if you have championship aspirations, as all the teams as they enter do, realistically, if you can play 1 less game anytime you can knock one off that schedule at the tournament, it gives your chances a better look. Here's a look down low by Pelote, and again, just good finds inside the paint.
Yeah, Jackson with a good look. He got deep in the lane, drew help, and then found the open man, Pelote. That's what he has to do, Jeff. I'm sorry. Just do what the game tells you to do. If it says pass it like he did right there, go ahead and pass that ball.
Here's the miss by the Buccaneers on the outside look by Seymour. And now driving down the lane, Woolbright's going to be whistled for an offensive push. So that charge will give the ball back to ETSU.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go on the play. The defense was established. Just shoot the little pull-up.
Campbell will exit for Western Carolina, and Tyler Harris, we talked about what a great first half he had coming out on the floor for WCU. Harris, by the way, the only Catamount in double-digit scoring, all of that coming off the bench in the first half, 11. And now the kiss off the glass, the bucket good by DeAnthony Tipler. And the Buccaneers have their biggest lead of the game, a 3-point lead now, here with just under 15 to go in the second half.
Well, Tipler's a nice addition to have him back. He's returning from a leave of absence, and the more guys you get back, and he's one of them, bodes well for ETSU moving forward.
Inside the paint, Woolbright battling down low, and again, a good finish by Woolbright. He's silently sneaking up on the scoring column tonight. That gives him 8 points, just shy of double digits. Now inside the lane, Haynes is going to be pushed. He'll head to the free throw line.
Like we said, the scouting report on Haynes, at the bottom of his drive, he loves to spin. He loves to spin and finish off that right shoulder. You got to make sure that you can't allow him get that deep. You got to put a body on him higher up the lane so he don't have that free wheeling drive down at the bottom.
Coach, I tried to make him one of the better free throw shooters in the league earlier, but I stand corrected. He's only at 68% instead of 87%, but let's see if the reversal now will help him.
Well, the last time when you said he was in the 80s, he missed it.
That's right. I'm seeing if
let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here.
The actual stat. Let's see if he can connect. And this one is good. So maybe I'll be getting a thank you card in the mail, and it builds the Buccaneers lead back to 2.
But don't take anything for granted at the free throw line. Make sure you're boxing out if you're Western Carolina and secure the rebound if there is a miss.
Second free throw on the way, and that lead back up to 3 now for ETSU. And here's an errant pass. And let's see if Jones can save it. No, the Buccaneers able to corral the basketball. And that's what could be a big turnover here as ETSU tries to expand this lead and establish some momentum here. As you see King now out of the corner from the baseline. And the shot a little strong, and the rebound down by the Catamounts. Here comes Jackson for WCU. Woolbright. Seymour cuts him off in the lane. Now back to Jones off the glass, and we're going to have a foul called as there was contact on Jones' shot attempt.
You got to make sure when Jones catches that ball on the reversal or the kick out that you're closing out short to him. Not very good defense by a pretty good defender, Jordan King.
And Coach, that becomes the 4th foul now on Seymour. So you have Seymour with 4. And a couple of other players, including Haynes, with 3 each. So the foul problem starting to become a factor here for ETSU, as returning will be Struthers. And also back on the floor is Braden Illick.
Well, Russell Jones, 21 at ETSU in the win, was 5 for 7 from threes over there. When Western has 4 guys in double figures, it bodes well for them. And right now they're moving towards that a little bit. But without Claude in there, other guys have to step up.
Down the floor come the Buccaneers, trying to build on a 2-point advantage. They've kind of flipped the script here after halftime. Trailing most of the first half. Struthers wide open for 3. Strong rebound by Haynes, unable to convert the putback, but he is fouled and will head to the free throw line. You can see what a force he is, Coach, off the offensive boards.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when you're playing against Jalen Haynes, the fight starts when the ball is in the air.
Yes.
You better put a body on that big guy and drive him out of there. Like I used to tell guys, like, listen, if you get a foul for boxing out, I'll yell at the referee, but don't let him get a second shot opportunity and be sitting at the free throw line. Got to bring more physicality to the game with this kid.
And the free throw off the mark, and Coach, it looks like there may be a biscuit on the line here on this second free throw. And you know, in the South, anytime you can get a free biscuit, that's going to bring out some noise.
I'm new to the South, but that's huge.
Yes. So Haynes with more on the line than just a free throw here, as he concentrates with the second free throw attempt, and this one off the mark. So cheers for the missed free throw from the Catamount fans, and also for the free Bojangles biscuit. And now the Catamounts down by 2 in possession, and a chance to retake the lead or force the 6th tie of tonight's game. Campbell works down to the baseline. Nice shot off the glass by DJ Campbell.
Boy, what a great take by the freshman. And Jason G said he's been coaching for 35 years, one of the toughest freshmen he has ever coached.
Now the answer, look at the hush signal here from Jordan King. I guess if you bang it from that far out, you earn the right to quieten the crowd.
Well, you know, the scouting report on him, NBA three-point range, you got to be up and in him.
ETSU with a three-point advantage, and the Catamounts trying to answer here. Tyler Harris, he's not missed tonight from three-point range. That went off the mark, but Granger with a rebound. It looks like the Catamounts are going to slow it down and reset the offense. Trey Jackson, and if he starts heating up here in the second half, that will be a shot in the arm for this Catamount offense.
Well, they need him to. He just can't rely on a three-point shot. That pull-up right there, just terrific.
ETSU now trying to corral King. That's been a tough assignment tonight for Russell Jones, as King has erupted for one of his season's best performances. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor here, as ETSU trying to hold on to this one-point advantage, and the ball will belong to the Catamounts when we come back. What a great Southern possession after the timeout. And I'm sure Coach both benches very happy to have that timeout, because this has been such a competitive game. To get those legs rested over on the sidelines with that much intensity to start the second half had to be big for both coaches. Yeah, and a little bit of confrontation between two of the ETSU guys, Illick and Haynes. How you talk to your teammate is critical, especially between the lines. And Coach Oliver right on that. As soon as the ETSU team headed over to the huddle, he addressed that situation immediately. Three-point shot on the way, and this one is no good by King. And Jackson down with a Catamount rebound. Jackson all the way down on the baseline here, late for that little jumper on one-handed floater, and Western Carolina seesaws back in front. Well, with the ball screen, Brock Jancic was down in the lane. He was playing drop coverage right there, and a really nice take by Jackson. That was the 9th lead change of tonight's game, and Harris down with a Catamount rebound, and now Western Carolina will try to extend this lead. As you see, Woolbright cut off down inside, and now the teams get tangled down low, and let's see if Granger's okay, as he's kind of favoring his arm. Well, twice now with Jancic playing ball screen defense, Western Carolina's gone right at him with ball screen action. Possession ago, the pull-up by Jackson, and on this possession here, they drew the foul. And you see the replay here as Granger just, you hope that's just making contact with a funny bone, but he looks like it was some pain for a moment, as he's at the free throw line for what are, even with 10:45 left in the game, big free throws, and this one is up and good. Yeah, we won't say right now what he's shooting from the free throw line. It's been a tough season at the stripe. Yeah, under 50, but you know what? You'll take that one. If you could get 1 out of 2 out of him. Yeah, even with the curve that I give the players at the free throw line, it's still been a tough situation. Now the next free throw will be upcoming, as the shuffling and rotation continues here for both coaches. And because ball screen defense a little problematic, they bring Haynes back in, ETSU, for not only offense but defense as well. Got them both, Jeff. Got them both. That's improvement. And big in the eyes of Coach Justin Gray when you put your big man at the free throw line and he delivers and extends that lead to 3 now.
And now with Jones out of the game on defense, they got Harrison on the shooter, King. Tyler's a really good defensive player. He's like a 3-and-D guy with his size.
Wingspan.
Yeah, wingspan. Let's see if he could do a little bit better job on Jordan King.
Buccaneers inbounding now. You can see Trey Jackson had that screen set by Haynes, but the shot no good. Now Haynes trying to answer here. Second attempt off the mark. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it was apparently touched last by Haynes. And possession will belong to Western Carolina.
Well, one of the things that makes Jalen Haynes good is he just doesn't give one effort. Second and third efforts like he did right there. He didn't get rewarded, but you love the hustle from him.
But you have a situation here with Justin Gray where he's inherited a team that was originally run. Some of these players left over, not many, but some left over from the Mark Prosser era. And now the three-pointer big by DJ Campbell. And he's trying to establish this program. ETSU, you have Coach Oliver come in. And this is a program that's been to the NCAA tournament 11 times. They have that tradition. And 2 young coaches just in different situations, but a lot of comparisons as well, as you see the mid-range jumper good here by King.
No question. When you're taking over a program and you're trying to retain, like Justin Gray's done a terrific job, what they call Family Fridays, where the assistants call all of the families of all the players and talk about whether it's academics or how guys are doing. They have a chapel service on Sunday on campus, and bi-weekly meetings Justin has with the players, and they don't talk 1 second about basketball. You're developing relationships, you're developing the attitude that you want, and the entire staff is just doing a terrific job at both of the programs. But like we said, your second year in is where you want to start to make strides, and both of these programs are doing that. ETSU saddled with some injuries, of course. We talked about Josh Taylor, but I'll tell you what, if Justin Gray could get this team to 4th place in the league, he's going to have some consideration for Coach of the Year votes.
Yeah, deservedly so, and the free throw good here by Woolbright. And again, the cover was not bare for Coach Gray by any means, but coming after the Larry Hunter, coming after Mark Prosser, and then the COVID situation, it just was some challenges, and he's handled them very well. And now the ball out of bounds. And again, with that transfer portal, it's just a whole different world. We've talked about it so many times on so many broadcasts. I know you with Daniel Hooker here at different times, and on other broadcasts, myself and Daniel. But it is just a different world of college basketball over the last several seasons.
It really is. 1,500 kids put their name in the portal last year, and I really think the NCAA dropped the ball with the NIL stuff. When they saw the direction it was going in, Western fortunate right there. Granger picks up the loose ball.
Yeah, Colin Granger has accepted his role that he's replaced Tyjon Claude during his injury situation, and he is putting up some big minutes, and he's going to force a timeout here as that catamount lead up to 8 points, and that is the biggest lead of the night for Western Carolina. So we will take a break at the huddle at the break. You saw Coach Gray talking to one of his post players, Granger. What did you see there?
Well, what you're seeing is like when guys come over and a coach grabs you, like big eyes, big ears, small mouth. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Look at me in the eye. King with another long three that was short. You know what, Jeff? I would say, like, coaching's constantly dealing with athletes that unconsciously want to do what's comfortable, but comfortable is what gets you beat. Coaching is confronting and challenging certain attitudes and certain behavior. Justin Gray just did a great job right there with his guy Granger.
Now we're going to have a foul called here on the Buccaneers, and that's going to be the 5th foul, so mark that down. 8:27 to go, and Jaden Seymour has fouled out for the Buccaneers, and that's a big loss for ETSU, as Seymour tonight has had an effective game, not so much on the stat sheet, only 4 points, but he's been a good defender.
He really has, and I'm not sure about that call right there. We've had pretty good officiating all night. These guys have done just a terrific job, but It was almost like the penalty in the Super Bowl. I'm not sure if I'm buying that. I'm not sure.
Still not going with the holding.
No.
And the free throw good. Well, Coach, my Miami Dolphins are so far away from the Super Bowl that I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. Hopefully Tua will get it together next season. Here's the next free throw on the way, and this one is good. That was a great game, though, on Sunday.
Terrific. What a terrific football game.
Down the floor now come the Buccaneers as the Catamounts now with the first double-digit lead of the game after the two made free throws. Inside the lane shot is no good, and the follow attempt by Haynes will not drop in. And the rebound down by Jones. Let's see the speed and the finish. And the Catamounts, just like that, are up by 12.
What a terrific job by Jones. When he took it in there, used the rim as a protector, took it to the other side, which negated the shot block.
And the crowd has come to life here in Cullowhee. Would you call this danger time now for the Buccaneers?
It really is. A big offensive possession here for ETSU.
Haynes trying to get the points, and he will. And he's going to be fouled, and we'll head to the line after the timeout to shoot the bonus free throw. So a big bucket here needed by ETSU after Western Carolina extended their biggest lead of the game. But WCU has been doing it from the outside and inside. And when we come back, ETSU will try to make it a single-digit big bucket. And now a chance to, again, cut the lead down to single digits as Haynes at the stripe.
Be physical on your box outs on the free throw line.
What a hustle here by Haynes to get his own miss.
And like we talked about, like how can the shooter get the ball? I know it was tipped, but you got to put your body in there. He's 15 feet from the basket and keep him off the glass.
All due respect to post players, but also a big man who's able to get down and beat these quick guards to the basketball.
When he shoots it, you got to stick your backside in there and drive him out.
You can see Coach Justin Gray not happy with what just transpired down on the Buccaneers end of the floor as Haynes will visit the stripe again. In good form, and the free throw good, and that will make it a 9-point Catamount lead with still over 7 minutes to go here in the second half.
Yeah, cardinal sin not boxing out on the free throw line. Be physical with your box outs.
Second free throw up and no good, and now the Catamounts will momentarily come down with a rebound. And Western Carolina is going to lose the ball on the baseline, and Coach Justin Gray, I'm not sure if he's disputing the call or just unhappy with what just transpired.
I think he's really unhappy with these guys at the free throw box out.
Again, here's Haynes after the inbounds play. Three-point shot on the way. Boy. What a big possession by ETSU. Coach, they went from 10 down out of the timeout to making it a 6-point game, so a 4-point possession in effect for ETSU.
All because of the free throw box out, or lack thereof, I should say.
Now Palute for three, and that's a big answer here for the Catamounts.
Really big shot by the sophomore from Savannah, Georgia.
9-point Western Carolina advantage. ETSU knows it's getting to the point where they can't trade possessions, though they've got to come up with stops here. And just like that, Western Carolina is starting to pile up the fouls. It's going to be team foul number 8, and then the Buccaneers will head to the free throw line. King, 81% on the season, a very good free throw shooter now at the stripe. And we've talked about his game tonight, about to possibly score his 20th point here. 19 tonight, 6 of 13 shooting. He's hit a three-pointer. And I'm not sure what just happened with Haynes. I looked up and saw him sliding down the baseline.
I think you're starting to see a little more physicality on the box outs by Western. Now, this kid's a terrific free throw shooter, but ETSU 9th in the conference in free throw shooting. So, you know, give Coach Oliver a lot of credit. Like, hey, we're shooting them. Let's go get them.
ETSU only 41% tonight from the floor, but they've done a good job at the free throw line. 11 of 16, so those free throws have been extremely important, keeping the Buccaneers close. And the second free throw, good by King. And again, we've got a 7-point Western Carolina lead.
picking up three-quarter court, put a little pressure on the ball. Let's see where Western goes with this possession right here. Jackson back in.
Jones here calling the play, letting the offense get set near midcourt. And now Woolbright down to Pelote. Goes up between a couple of trees, unable to convert. And Haynes down with a rebound, and the Buccaneers now will try to inch closer. Cutting inside the lane. Here's another high archer by King that's no good. And Tyler Harris, which Gaudio talked about his wingspan, and you can see it on that defensive rebound.
A little bit. Jones just has terrific quickness, but maybe Harris a little size on King.
Because you're seeing Western Carolina kind of pull this offense back. What's the call there? Why are they pushing the ball back more towards midcourt?
They got 5 perimeter guys, so there's no post. They're really opening the floor up and trying to spread them out and drive them.
Missed shot here down low by Jones, and driving down the lane off the glass, shot too strong by Tipler. And here come the Catamounts after the defensive rebound. Jones now thought about the three. Instead, Woolbright will go again to Pelote. And he's just going to have an errant pass that will be taken away by King.
Yeah, play with a little more poise in there. Gather yourself, pivot.
Well, obviously here with a 7-point game for either team, the offensive possessions are important, but especially for ETSU with a bit of a hill to climb. 3-point shot is up, and this one is good, and that is a huge basket by Justice Smith, the sophomore out of Lyons, New York. A huge three-pointer that makes it a 4-point game.
As we know, he could really score the ball. All-time leading scorer in high school, and then at Mansfield University, he had a 56-point game. So you got to guard that guy right there. He's been maybe quiet throughout the year, but you're going to have to guard him.
Granger back on the floor for the Catamounts as Pelote, who had some good minutes for Coach Justin Gray, and the Catamounts will head over to the bench. Now Russell Jones will bring the Catamounts down the floor.
Now more traditional offense with Granger back in there, so they got a post guy that they're going to have on the block right now.
Here's Woolbright. Harris, 3-point specialist tonight for the Catamounts, hits another one. What a big bucket again for WCU to answer that three by ETSU.
And I love this patience. The shot fake, got the guy out of position, and that's a season high by Tyler Harris right there.
And that's going to be his 4th three, 4 out of 5 behind the line. And Trey Jackson down with a rebound. Talking about this output tonight for Tyler Harris, leading WCU with 14 points. Woolbright right behind with 12, and Granger with 10. 3 Catamounts in double-digit scoring. And now Jones for 3. He falls to the floor, no foul. And the Buccaneers down with a rebound.
Conversion defense. Be talking, be pointing. Who do you have?
We go under 4 here to go in the Ramsey Center. Haynes trying to get the rebound. Battling through traffic. Shot off the glass, no good, and a defensive rebound down by Granger. And here come the Catamounts down the floor. Western Carolina may be taking a little air out of the ball as well here, trying to run down the clock with this.
Nice out, 56 and 50 like you said, and 87% from the free throw line. But 14 turnovers tonight was problematic for Western Carolina.
Western Carolina after the timeout here will give the ball away. Another turnover for WCU.
So Coach Gray called that play with that drift pass along the baseline, but you know what? If it's not open, don't throw it.
That's the 15th giveaway for the Catamounts.
And they're a team that really takes care, for the most part, the basketball.
I think you can give some of that credit to ETSU. Really some good defensive work tonight, some good deflections, but also there have been times where the Catamounts have just made the careless pass, and it's resulted in the giveaway, and now King will be at the free throw line. He spent a lot of time there tonight. Leading scorer for the Buccaneers. And the first free throw up and good, and now it's 22 points for King. Jordan King, the junior guard, again out of Albany, New York.
Yeah, he's really stepped up tonight. And you mentioned it, Jeff. ETSU third in the conference in scoring defense, second in field goal percentage. That's one of the reasons why you have Western turning the basketball over.
It's only a 5-point game and still plenty of time left here. So Coach Desmond Oliver coaching away on the sidelines, trying to get his defense inspired. Big offensive set here for WCU, trying to build on this 5-point lead. Granger down low, battling Haynes, and Haynes with a strong defensive board. And now the Buccaneers will have a chance to trim down this Catamount 5-point advantage.
If you're Granger, you're going to shoot that jump hook. You can't fade on it.
Here's Smith with the ball.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they switched that ball screen right there, and you have a little bit of a mismatch with Granger on Smith, and now we're seeing Haynes. They're trying to clear out right now with Haynes on Harris.
And let's see what the whistle will. They're going to have an out-of-bounds violation down on the baseline.
You know, there's some situations where you got an emergency switch, and they did a good job of that right there. Because, you know, switching, you ask yourself as a coach, what gets you beat, the mismatch or the open shot? It's the open shot, because you could bring help on a mismatch.
Well, what really stings about that turnover, it came late on the shot clock as well, so they ate a lot of time off the possession before giving the ball back to the Catamounts. And now we'll try to come up with a defensive stop here on the WCU end of the floor as Woolbright works over to Jones and bodies fly. Jackson ends up on the floor.
That's a foul on Haynes just running through the screen.
It's going to be his fourth.
Yeah, his fourth. It's a good call.
You know, away from the ball, down under the basket as Haynes was battling Granger down low. And Trey Jackson will be at the stripe. Jackson tonight with 9 points. And his free throw will now make him the 5th Catamount in double-digit scoring tonight.
And you foul a guy running through the screen that's number 1 in the league in free throw percentage at 92.9.
And the next free throw is good, and the Catamounts with some important free throws there. You can't really undervalue how big those were, with the Catamounts now leading by 7. But how about this three-pointer here by Tipler? That's also huge to pull the Buccaneers back within 4.
Well, when you run that ball screen, the guy on the opposite corner has to move in to help a little bit. And Jackson just not recovering quick enough. And Jackson just not recovering quick enough to the three-point shooter.
Western Carolina in 4th place in the SoCon standings. ETSU tied for 5th with Chattanooga. But the Catamounts trying to grab that tiebreaker over ETSU. With a win, they will sweep the seasonal series with the Buccaneers. And they're on the verge of that victory right now. Woolbright from on the baseline. But that was heavily guarded, Coach, and
really?
A miss here by Woolbright.
Yeah, not a lot of movement on offense that possession. Tried to isolate.
Tipler off the side of the iron, and the ball will rebound long out of bounds and come back to the Catamounts. And Woolbright.
Now down 4, Jeff, I'm sorry. You're going to see ETSU extend their defense a little bit here.
Woolbright will head to the bench, Coach, with a maybe just a sprained ankle. Not sure if he has a cramp. He's rubbing the back of his leg, so we'll see if he returns. As Jones now will bring the Catamounts down the floor. See the time remaining, 1:15, and the Catamounts lead by 4.
Well, let's see if they just run Jones into a ball screen. Well, they're going to run a ball screen for Jackson right here.
Now some good defense here. King able to deflect the basketball, and it's going to go out of bounds. We're going to have a reset, or we're going to have a timeout taken out on the floor, and it will be a Catamount timeout. So going inside the huddles right now, if you're down on the Western Carolina end of the floor, obviously you want to score here, but also you want to protect the ball and I guess run as much clock as you can as we see the reset back to 30 seconds on the shot clock. Defensive. Western Carolina wasted opportunity on offense. Let's see if the Buccaneers can take advantage now. Down by 4 and under a minute to go in the game in this key SoCon matchup. Here's Haynes battling down inside the paint. Soft touch, coach, and a big bucket here by ETSU.
Like we said, he likes to spin and go over that left shoulder with that right hand. You got to take that away from him.
12 points now for Haynes, and quickly Coach Oliver with a timeout here to make sure his team is all set defensively.
Woolbright
Talk about the road ahead
all year
for these
long.
two
So
teams.
you have some options and a really small lineup for Western. So let's see if they try to spread the floor a little bit and attack Haynes off of the bounce, if they could draw him out from under the basket.
You can see about a 19-second differential between the shot clock and game clock as the Catamounts head down the floor. So you wouldn't think the Buccaneers would be looking for any kind of flagrant foul here.
2 timeouts for Western if they need it. The possession arrow with ETSU. Now you see Haynes right in the middle of the lane clogging it up a little.
Woolbright trying to battle down the lane. Clogged up there, so it'll come back to Campbell.
Shoot it.
Campbell's little floater in the air, no good, and Haynes will not be denied on the rebound. Buccaneers have a chance to tie or take the lead as we go 12 seconds remaining, and Haynes will bring the ball up to the top of the key. He's met there by Campbell. Now back to King. Back to Haynes, down low, no foul called. Buccaneers with a rebound. Here's the shot for the win. It's no good, and the Catamounts come out with a victory. Final 68-66. Coach, the Buccaneers had a